Your brain is kind of like a computer that runs on electricity. It's made up of billions of cells called neurons, which communicate with each other through these electrical signals. These neurons don't actually touch. They're separated by tiny gaps called synapses. And when one neuron wants to send a message to another, it releases special chemicals called neurotransmitters to carry the signal across the gap. Think of neurotransmitters like mail carriers delivering important messages between all the different parts of your brain. As you go through life and have new experiences, your brain makes new connections between neurons. These connections are strengthened every time you think a certain thought or do a specific behavior. The more you practice something, the easier it becomes because your brain is creating these shortcuts or pathways that make it faster and simpler for your neurons to communicate. This is called neuroplasticity, and it means that your brain is constantly changing and adapting based on what you practice. So, if you're someone who worries a lot or gets sucked into negative thoughts, your brain will create pathways that make it easier to have those thoughts in the future. On the flip side, if you're someone who practices positive thinking, gratitude, and self-awareness, your brain will create pathways that make it easier to access those mental habits. So rather than thinking of your brain as something that's fixed, you can think of it as something that's fluid and adaptable, kind of like a muscle. Just as you can build muscle strength through exercise, you can build mental strength through consistent effort. In fact, scientists have found that people who practice positive thinking regularly actually have changes in their brain structure. Specifically, they have increased gray matter in areas of the brain associated with attention, memory, and emotional processing. This means that positive thinking can literally change the physical structure of your brain, making it more resilient to stress and better able to process emotions in a healthy way. Neuroplasticity also plays a role in our ability to break negative thought patterns. When we're young, our brains are more flexible and it's easier to form new pathways. But as we get older, our brains become more set in their ways, and it can be harder to change our thinking. However, it's still possible even if it takes a bit more effort. So, if you're struggling to break a bad habit or change a negative thought pattern, know that it's possible with enough effort and practice. Your brain is always changing and adapting, so don't give up on yourself. Now let's talk about how you can use this knowledge to your advantage. Here are 5 simple yet powerful things you can do to rewire your brain for positivity. Number 1. Start a gratitude journal. This is one of the simplest yet most effective things you can do to rewire your brain for positivity. Every day, take a few minutes to write down a few things you're grateful for. It could be something as simple as having a warm bed to sleep in, or as big as getting a promotion at work. When you focus on the good things in your life and express gratitude for them, your brain starts to create new pathways that make it easier to access those positive emotions in the future. Plus, there are actual biological benefits to gratitude. When you feel grateful, your brain releases neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which make you feel happy and at ease. So not only does gratitude help you rewire your brain for positivity, but it also makes you feel good in the moment. Number 2, practice mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. You can practice mindfulness in many different ways, but one of the most popular is through meditation. When you meditate, you sit or lie down in a comfortable position and focus on your breath or on sounds around you. As you do this, you may notice that your mind wanders to other thoughts, and that's okay. Just gently bring your attention back to the present moment. The key to mindfulness is to observe your thoughts without judgment. Don't get caught up in them or try to push them away. Just acknowledge them and let them pass like clouds in the sky. Practicing mindfulness regularly can help you rewire your brain for positivity in a few ways. First, it helps you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This awareness allows you to choose which thoughts you want to focus on and which ones you want to let go of. Second, mindfulness helps you develop a non-reactive state of mind. When you're in a state of mindfulness, you're less likely to react impulsively or make decisions out of anger or fear. Instead, you're more likely to pause and consider your options before making a choice. Third, mindfulness helps you cultivate a sense of acceptance. When you're mindful, you're more likely to accept things as they are, rather than trying to change them or fight against them. This acceptance can help you let go of negative emotions and focus on the positive. Number 3. Use positive self-talk. The way you talk to yourself matters. If you're constantly putting yourself down or using negative self-talk, it will create pathways in your brain that make it easier to feel anxious and stressed. On the other hand, if you use positive self-talk and affirmations, it will create pathways that make it easier to feel confident and secure. Here are a few tips for using positive self-talk effectively. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Become aware of the negative thoughts and self-talk you engage in. You can't change what you don't pay attention to. Challenge your negative thoughts. Ask yourself whether your negative thoughts are really true or helpful. Often they're not. Replace negative thoughts with positive ones. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, make an effort to replace that thought with a positive one. It might feel forced at first, but over time, it will become easier. Use affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself in order to build up your belief in them. For example, you might say, "I am strong," or "I am capable," to yourself whenever you're feeling down. Number 4. Visualize success. Visualization is a powerful tool that can help you achieve your goals and rewire your brain for positivity. When you visualize, you create mental images of yourself succeeding and achieving your desired outcomes. This can help you rewire your brain for positivity in several ways. First, visualization helps you focus on what you want to achieve rather than what you fear will happen. When you focus on positive outcomes, your brain is more likely to see possibilities and opportunities rather than obstacles and setbacks. Second, visualization activates the same neural pathways in your brain as actually experiencing success. This means that when you visualize yourself succeeding, your brain starts to create pathways that make it easier to feel confident and capable in the future. Third, visualization helps you develop a positive mindset and attitude towards challenges. When you visualize yourself overcoming obstacles and achieving success, you become more resilient in the face of adversity. And number 5, be patient and persistent. Rewiring your brain for positivity takes time and effort. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately. Just keep practicing these techniques regularly and you will start to see a difference over time. Neuroplasticity is a real phenomenon that can help you change your thinking and improve your life. By practicing gratitude, mindfulness, positive self-talk, visualization, and other positive habits, you can literally rewire your brain for positivity. So, why wait? Start today and see the difference it makes in your life. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We would love to hear your thoughts and any positive habits that have helped you rewire your brain for positivity. Thank you for watching and see you next time.